And I want to identify Wikipedia as an unreliable resource tool.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the moments where the internet's encyclopedia didn't check all their facts.
You gotta stop messing with the internet.
Number 10, Robbie Williams eating pets for money. If you just did a double take, we wouldn't blame you. Robbie Williams has been a famous musician for over half his life, and has presumably made enough to live a comfortable, if not lavish life.
I still want to win the world. I still want to win at everything that I do.
Yet, in 2006, someone hacked his page to say that he made cash on the side by eating pets in various bars. How someone could make money doing such a thing, along with who made the update, is still unknown today. The hoax luckily didn't negatively impact his career, but it was an early sign that the editing feature could be abused just to make a bad joke.
You really have to do some serious thinking before anything like that gets done.
Number 9. Kuadamundys are Brazilian aardvarks. All it takes is an odd source and a professional-sounding statement to spread a fake fact. Such was the case of the Kuadamundy, an odd-looking animal in the raccoon family that fell victim to a Wikipedia hoax in 2008.
A member of the raccoon family, this fascinating critter is the coati, an opportunistic feeder that will eat anything from fruit and spiders to small lizards, snakes, and rodents.
Dylan Breves edited the page to include one simple inclusion, that they were also known as Brazilian aardvarks. Breves assumed it would be corrected right away, and moved on. It wasn't until a year later, when he saw his fake term circulating the web, that he realized how believable it was. It had been picked up by online and physical media, which only made it harder to prove it wasn't true. It's proof of how easy it is for even relatively mild lies to be accepted.
Mistakes like this can be fatal.
Number 8. David Beckham was an 18th century goalkeeper. His talent doesn't just begin and end with football. It turns out he's also an expert time traveler as well.
David Beckham adds another to his portfolio of magnificent strikes this season.
In 2007, sports legend David Beckham had his Wikipedia page vandalized to report that he had been a goalkeeper for a Chinese team in the 18th century. Besides the fact that this would have taken place hundreds of years before he was born, it's also a position he's never played professionally before. The whole thing is obviously wrong from top to bottom. The fact that it managed to get past the other editors in the first place and remained published is a testament to why they had to tighten their rules a couple of years later.
But you know, these things happen.
Number 7. Chris Benwiss' horrific crimes. It's not often one can say a Wikipedia edit lands them in hot water legally. In 2007, wrestler Chris Benwiss carried out a horrific act against his family before taking his own life.
You didn't want to believe it, can't be true, but it was.
Before that information had been released, a poster had updated Benwiss' page to report that he had missed a match because his wife had passed away. The updates had been made just hours before the bodies had been found, making the user behind them seem even more suspicious.
Is he in trouble?
No, I don't think so. All right, as I say, what it's created is a big frenzy.
That part I understand.
All right, because he posted before they found the bodies, before anybody knew anybody was dead.
He was eventually found and interrogated, where he insisted that he had made the changes based on rumors he'd seen online. It was purely an eerie coincidence that should have never been published without verification in the first place.
Now you see how what you think can be pranks can, you know, I mean, you can turn yourself from a prank to a murder suspect.
Number 6. John Siginthaler was involved in John F. Kennedy's assassination. This wouldn't be the first conspiracy theory to arise from this event, but it doesn't make it any less shocking. John Siginthaler, a journalist and political aide, had his Wikipedia page edited in 2005 to say that he had been a suspect in both Robert and John F. Kennedy's assassinations.
When I read it, I laughed out loud. I'm a suspected assassin?
It was a horrific claim to make given his closeness to both men. The libelous statement had been up for months before he noticed it, and continued circulating the web even after he had it deleted. In response, he lambasted the site for its oversight, and warned the government that future politicians and elections will be subject to the spreading of false information.
Irresponsible and unreliable, those are my words.
In hindsight, he wasn't wrong, and we're only learning those consequences now. Number 5. SJ. Wikipedia editors may come across as experts, but at the end of the day, they're anonymous strangers behind a screen. SJ was one of their top contributors in the mid-2000s. He claimed to be a professor of religious studies, and his credentials helped him gain power on the site. Yet, there were some cracks that began to emerge that implied he wasn't who he said he was. It caused an uproar within the community. It was eventually revealed that he wasn't an educator at all, but a 24-year-old with an alias. He resigned from his positions, but that didn't stop the accusations of fraud. It goes to show that lying about your identity online can help protect yourself, but can also lead to dire consequences. Number 4. The Bicholum Conflict. The world has a long, rich history filled with excitement, making it seem reasonable that some things would slip through the cracks of people's memories. However, a war between the Portuguese-owned Goa and India is not something that could easily be forgotten. In 2007, an article detailing a fictional struggle between the two countries was created. It was known as the Bicholum Conflict, and it claimed that it led to Goa being declared its own independent state. While it all sounded well-researched, such an event had never taken place at all. Allowing a hoax to be published as fact is bad enough, but it being up for 5 years before being deleted goes to show how easy it is to accidentally corroborate a lie. Number 3. Jaredo Wens. If you thought an obvious hoax existing for 5 years was bad, wait until you hear this. There's a plethora of deities around the world, making it understandable that many people wouldn't know every single one. That made it easy for Jaredo Wens to create the page for a faux Aboriginal god called Jaredo Wens in 2005. The article consisting of 2 sentences and the picture he used of the supposed religious figure should have made it obvious it was a joke. Yet, it survived for 9 years, was included on several non-English versions, and was even cited in an atheist book before being deleted in 2015. It was at the time the longest-running prank on the website, and is proof that some people will in fact believe anything they see online. Number 2. Tanner Ochams' detainment. Most Wikipedia hoaxes end up sounding like a silly story years later. However, there have been some that have led to serious consequences. Tanner Ocham was one of the first Turkish historians to acknowledge the Armenian genocide. He was inundated with online harassment, including having his page updated to refer to him as a terrorist. The false information was then used as justification to falsely detain him in Montreal in 2007. Though it was cleared up, he was stopped days later in the United States, and was even told to stay away from the border until it was resolved. It got so bad that the website's founder, Jimmy Wales, stepped forward to express his regret, and another editor issued a personal apology.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Ashley Ashton Moore. False facts on Wikipedia may seem like a phenomenon restricted to the less moderated days of the 2000s. However, there are some pages with wrong information that are still up today. When you look at Ashley Ashton Moore's biography, you may not see anything out of the ordinary, just her short-lived career and eventual tragic death. Her brother revealed on Reddit in 2025 that everything from her birthday to her cause of death was completely incorrect, and had been since its creation in 2007. The sources had all been cited from an erroneous book, which editors used as justification to ignore her family's attempts at correcting the article. While some things have been updated, it's unclear whether the rest of her story will ever be added. What's the most incorrect fact you've ever seen on Wikipedia? Let us know in the comments below.
Together, we are creating the most comprehensive encyclopedia that has ever existed. Wikipedia.